Why, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and welcome to this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new, first off, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And WIP stands for work in progress. In this case, and in most cases, most weeks, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting. And while I'm working on this diamond painting, I'm going to be chatting your ear off for the next hour or so. So feel free to grab a project to work alongside me. This is one of my favorite kinds of videos to listen to on YouTube because it just feels like I'm settling in and crafting with a friend, getting to keep up with what people just have going on in their lives and get a little bit of crafting done at the same time. So yeah, glad you're here and hope you enjoy today's WIP and Chat. As far as what I'm going to be working on and with today, I've started a new diamond painting since last week. Let me grab the sticker that has the original artwork. Here we go. I started on Hades and Persephone by Mrs. Butter D from Diamond Art Club. And this is a kit that was in my rainy day stash, which is just a set of kits in my collection that I'm saving for a rainy day. More on that later, but this is what I am working on. I've completed the first couple of rows and we're just opening up the third row right here. You can kind of see, well, no, you can't because I have a bunch of accessories in the way. A little bit of her hair, a little bit of the plant. I think this is like the sleeve of her dress. So that's what we're going to be opening up and working on today. So yay for that. And then accessories wise, just kind of grabbed a few different seasonal things. This is from Butterfly Effect Wares. It's from a drop a couple of years ago. I don't remember exactly when, but they do weekly drops on Saturdays and do different colorways each week. But I love this gold one and it kind of fits with the colors in the painting and also just the kind of vibe, which is like vaguely metallic that I had going on when I was grabbing other accessories. The tray is from Firefly Diamond Art and was the Drills and Chills event tray for last year. I just got in their 2025 Drills and Chills tray. Words are hard. That you'll see me, I think, unbox in this upcoming weekend's Drills and Chills video. So stay tuned for that. But for now, I have this one, and this is the Inferno Nano size. They have a bunch of different sizes and styles of trays, but yeah, this is like the size of a deck of cards, a little bit bigger. I'm going to be using Wee Wax. This is from a couple years back. It's the scent It's Fall, y'all, and I think it has like cloves and other just like fall spicy goodness. Yeah, it just smells like fall. It's really nice. I could see I've used it before. I'll use that in my single placer. And then Patsy Putty, this is from last year. And this is in the scent Caramel Apple. I'm going to use this one in my multi-placer. This is how I've been doing it for years. Every once in a while, I should just challenge myself to change it up. But I tried a bunch of different kinds of combinations of different accessories for a while and found that the way I prefer to diamond paint is with putty in my multi-placer and with some kind of wax in my single placer. It just kind of matches how I hold the pen, how I place diamonds, and so that just has always been my go-to. I used washi tape. I wrapped a little bit around the base of this because most pen turners will not have the inside of this turned to fit metal multi-placers perfectly, which is probably a good thing because if it were even slightly off, metal placers have no give, so it would be a problem. So they tend to do it a little bit on the bigger side, and I just wrap some washi tape around the barrel, and that gives it a little bit of extra like circumference and has enough give to it that now it's not, spinning crazily. I'm gonna swap out the putty because this is old putty. I just use tweezers. So it used to be they would say like, oh, don't use metal tweezers in a metal multi-placer, you'll ding it up. I've tried toothpicks, I've tried other stuff. It's a mess. I use metal tweezers to get the putty out and hasn't done like any major noticeable damage, but just do whatever the shop owners are telling you to. I'm just partly lazy, partly I just haven't found something else that's worked. I tried toothpicks once and the toothpicks just like broke off into little pieces. It was a mess. But okay, let me get this putty open and ready to go. and we'll get started. So, hi, hello, how are you doing today? I hope that you had a really nice weekend and that your Monday, your week is off to a great start. It is currently Sunday evening, which is usually when I'm sitting down to film these WIP and Chats. Sorry, I'm doing this off screen where I can get like a hard surface to cut through this buddy. I'm not doing anything like nefarious off screen. It's just when I diamond paint, this is so weird. But so I diamond paint at my kitchen table, but my kitchen table is unfinished textured wood. I used to, when I would film videos, I would just use my kitchen table as the background, and so you may have seen it. And then I switched, I don't know, a few months back. I decided I wanted to mix it up a little bit, and now I have that light pink background, which is just like a desk pad, actually, that I unroll and I lay out when I'm going to film, and then roll it back up when I'm done. We live in a small space. I don't have a craft room. I diamond paint at my kitchen table. I film at my kitchen table and just make do, and it works fine. But where was I going with this? Oh, since I have like a rough, unfinished, and not perfectly flat kitchen table, I find it really a big pain to diamond paint directly on my kitchen table because it's not perfectly flat. And so I use this piece of, it's so classy and professional. I use just a piece of flat cardboard under my diamond painting. And so but that like has enough give to it that if I'm trying to load up this with putty, it doesn't cut cleanly. It's fine. Trying to see what's going on here. My computer, I have it off screen while I'm keeping an eye out for a text, which is why I have that off screen. And just came up with a weird notification. Anyway, I am wildly sidetracked easily tonight. It has been a day, and so I feel like I'm just still kind of decompressing from the day, from the weekend, which is one of the reasons I like doing these WIP and Chats, is because it feels like I'm just, unwinding from the weekend, getting ready to go into the upcoming week, and just unwinding and chatting with you guys about it. So let me go ahead and open up this section. Where's mine? There we go. And we'll get started. These are pretty good size sections. I don't use the perforations on the plastic cover to make my section sizes because I tend to want to use slightly bigger sections than the perforated sections are. And I also like having the same size sections all around, and so the perforated sections just don't do it for me. But I know lots of other people love them, which is fine. But okay, let me open this up. I have a video. It's old now. It's really old now. It's like 4 years old, about how to section off your diamond painting with washi tape. It's still accurate to how I section off my canvases, but it is an older video that you could go dig up if you were wanting to see more details about how to section off your canvas with washi tape and how I use washi tape with diamond painting. Okay. Take that off, and let me grab a color and we'll get started. This is kind of the outlining color here. Let me see real quick. Okay. So I hope that you had a great weekend and that you're doing very well. It's mid-October. Look at how rich those colors are against each other. Oh my gosh. That really deep red against like that gold. That is like quintessential fall colors, and it's finally starting to feel like fall here. I live in Southern California, and we tend to not have as much variation when it comes to temperature. So, and our summers tend to last well into October, but we're just starting to have these hints of fall weather that I'm honestly living for it. It's so wonderful. It's been dropping like into the 50s and 60s overnight, which is practically freezing here. And even during the day, like the highs are steadily dropping. We're supposed to have some days where the highs are in the 60s Fahrenheit this week. My body is ready. I love, love, love fall and cooler weather. I don't care how much of a stereotype it makes me. I hate the heat so much that it's like we're going into my season, my era here, and I cannot wait. And I am very sorry for those of you that are very much summer people and not looking forward to fall season, but I am soaking it up over here. And it's almost like the reverse of seasonal affective disorder. And I know if you've been watching my videos for a while, you're like, Katie, every freaking year, every single season change, you bring this up. But seasonal affective disorder is more commonly known as something that affects people that feel more depressed, or like the cold weather, the dark and whatnot in the winter affects their moods negatively. And I would just swear up and down that the opposite can be true, that heat and like just the super intense bright sun that comes with summer can have a similar effect for some people like me. So that's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to cooler weather. Anyway, let's stop talking about the weather. It's literally the definition of boring small talk. And let's talk about this kit. Why am I working on it? Because I have been sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for Diamond Art Club to do their Halloween release, which they did this past weekend. And it was because I was holding out, just hoping that this one particular artwork by Rita Konya was going to be released. Rita Konya, aka Aria Illustrations. And it's this cozy autumn scene of this gal curled up in a chair with books and cats, and it's everything. It's everything. I did the cozy Christmas kit by this artist last year that was a similar room scene that was just so cozy and wonderful and lovely. And this particular artwork, I thought if it makes it through voting and gets produced by Diamond Art Club, I don't see myself not working on it this year. Now, I was fortunate enough to snag it in the Halloween drop, and it has shipped. I'm not sure when exactly it's going to be delivered. And look, I reserve the right to, of course, change my mind, but right now my plan is, I think... Oh, hello, Kat. We're chatting again like last week, I see. My plan is to work on it pretty much right away. So, unless something changes, which it could, or if I open it, I'm like, actually, I'm not really feeling it, but I'm cautiously optimistic. I hope I haven't built it up too much in my head. That's honestly what I'm more worried about at this point, that I just made it too much of a thing now that when I get it, I'm going to be like, actually, maybe not. Do you guys ever do that kind of thing where you just really, really build something up in your mind that it's going to be a particular way, and then it's like, oh, you've just really overblown it too much, and the only thing that can really happen from there is a letdown? I might have to go check on my cat like I did last week. Skip. Meow, meow. He doesn't do this, you guys. All the other videos that I filmed in the past week, he did not do this, but tonight... He's feeling like singing the song of his people. It's so funny. I wonder why he does that. But anyway, so what happened was I had basically gotten through the other Halloween, fall, drills and chills type kits that I wanted to work on. And I was trying to figure out, what do I want to work on now? I finished the Ghost of Eras Past kit from Jaded Gem Shop. I finished the Ghosts Doing Stuff kit from Diamond Art Studio UK. And you'll, by the way, be seeing post reviews on those kits soon, just to give you my thoughts in brief. Well, actually, you already saw the post review of the Jaded Gem Shop kit, but I enjoyed so much about working on that one. It was really fun. It was so nice to just have a quick little snack size kit. And like, obviously the artwork itself was so my taste. And it was fun to grab like time lapses of working on it along the way that I could share with you. I like that video format, the start to finish video format that's a little bit more comprehensive. And so that's also what you'll be seeing from me in the Ghosts Doing Stuff chart to art kit from Diamond Art Studio UK. Now that one is technically a mystery advent style kit. So if you're wanting to avoid spoilers, I completely understand that review will, of course, be spoiler-tastic. But for those of you that don't mind spoilers or aren't necessarily planning to work on it, or need to see a review of it first before you decide, hopefully you'll enjoy that one. And I'm not sure exactly what day I'll have that up, but definitely sometime soonish, I think. So I'm going to go check on my little chirpy cat, give him a little bit of reassurance and some pets, make sure all is good. And I'll be right back. Okay. He is back down here with me. He's actually eating just right near me. He was so just sweet and affectionate. If you have a cat, you know how cute it is when they do like the little air biscuits. Like they're standing there, they're walking, they keep picking up their paw and doing like little biscuits in midair. It's so freaking cute. So he was doing that, just being such an absolute love. He's just the best cat. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah, really great experiences with both of these kits. The Ghosts Doing Stuff kit, I was, full honesty, not expecting to enjoy that one as much as I did. It was so much fun and so cute. And also, I was just feeling that urge to work on a cross stitch conversion project again. It had been a bit, my temperature project really wasn't doing it for me in terms of like scratching that itch or whatever. So this project though totally did. I'm so glad I decided to work on that one. And I did time lapse that one, most of the squares as well, which I'm hoping is going to be really fun because you don't know what the images are going to be ahead of time. You're just seeing a blank canvas, and it's like, I was watching back some of these clips and it's like you get to kind of guess, like it's slowly revealed to you and you're like, okay, well, I know it's going to be a ghost, but what's this one going to be doing? What's it going to look like? And there's just some really cute stuff that I never would have imagined. The witchy not the witchy stitcher. Teeny Weeny Cross Stitch is this artist, but what they've come up with, just ridiculously unique. I wish I were this talented, but yes, keep an eye out for that start to finish post review soon. And just like I've always tried to do videos on my channel, I'm gonna try as hard as I possibly can to give you what I hope is a helpful and very honest and genuine review. And that's been a goal for me on my channel since day one. Over 5 years ago when I started my channel, my hope was just to, why is this not sticky? Okay, I think it's maybe the drill. My hope was to bring a little bit of goodness, bring a little bit of light, and just to bring like helpful stuff to the diamond painting world. Like to be helpful, to share things like, well, when I started my channel, the reasoning behind it was because I wanted to share a longer form review video that was longer than what the current Instagram video length limit was. So yeah, one of my very first videos on my channel was a post review. And yeah, from day one, my goal has just been to I just want to be helpful. I want to share a little bit about this craft that I really, really love and adore here. And it was true when I had 0 subscribers. It was true when I had 100. It was true when I had 1,000 and monetized my channel. And it's true to this day. So I really hope that that's something that you guys are finding here and that you found helpful and you found this to be a place that just feels like it's brighter and warmer and brings you a little bit of joy. But either way, I'm glad you're here, and I look forward to continuing to make hopefully helpful and interesting and fun videos, and connecting with you too through videos like this one, for as long as I'm here on YouTube. So yes, I finished up both of those projects and thought, well, this Halloween release still hasn't happened from Diamond Art Club yet, but I don't want to give up hope yet. And so what do I then want to work on to tide me over? And I thought, well, okay, these past couple of kits have been square drill kits, And I'm imagining that if this particular kit gets released from DAC, that it's also going to be square drills. So why don't I work on a round drill kit? And as it turns out, that Aria Illustrations kit is square drills and pretty big. So round drills, I think, was the right call. And then I kept scrolling through my Gems Flow app, which is where it's like a digital logbook where I just track all the kits that I have in my collection and ones that I've worked on and stuff. Kept scrolling through and nothing was super jumping out at me. I was having a really hard time narrowing it down. At one point, narrowing it down, quote, looked like me having 10 kits I was deciding between. It was not helpful, honestly. And then I decided, well, let me kind of go back and look through what kits have I worked on so far this year and what were maybe some of the other goals I had set for myself, or like guidelines, rough guidelines I'd set for myself for this year, to see if maybe there's a gap I could fill there maybe. And so as I was looking through my pictures of my completed projects so far this year, which there's like 27 or something. I don't remember how many exactly, but I was scrolling through them and I was like, I haven't worked on a kit by Mrs. Butter D yet this year, and that just won't do. It simply won't do. If you have a cat, that was the post litter box zoomies. Oh, and now he's meowing upstairs. I don't know what I'm going to do with this cat. He doesn't seem to be like ill or in distress or anything. I think he's just he gets in these moods sometimes. I don't know. I'll keep a close eye on him, but I really do think he's fine. Anyway, looking at my completed kits for this year, realized I had not done a Mrs. Butter D kit. And by the way, do you say Mrs. Butter D or Mrs. Buttered? I think it's Mrs. Butter D. I've looked on her Instagram and website before, and I don't think I've seen her specify. If one of you knows better, you can totally correct me in the comments. But anyway, I'd consider her one of my really top favorite artists at DAC. It's like her, Margaret Morales, Krista Bug, some of Yume's stuff, and more recently, Marigona Suli. You know what? I wouldn't even necessarily say Aria Illustrations because I'm a lot pickier with hers, but when it hits, it hits. A lot of Aria Illustrations, like portrait style witches that have more of a solid color background, I'm not drawn towards those. But so far I have all of Marigona Suli's kits that have released at Diamond Art Club. The Mystery this past weekend I think was number 5. And I used to be, man, I am just looking back and going, I'm tracing, like I went tangent, and eventually I'm going to make it back to the point that I was making about why I worked on this kit. I don't have ADHD. That was one of the things that they tested me for, but the overlap between ADHD and autism is often like there can be a lot. So sometimes I just wonder, like, well, there's some of that overlap. Anyway, I used to be someone that would, if there was an artist that I really loved, I would feel like I needed to collect all of the artwork that was released by that artist at a company. And I'm so glad that didn't last very long because it's not practical. I've gotten a lot more streamlined with what I keep in my diamond painting collection to work on. I've gotten a lot pickier about what I buy and what I spend money on for diamond painting stuff. And so I'm no longer a person that will buy everything that was released from an artist just because it's that artist. I'm pickier, and I know that eventually there will be a kit that Diamond Art Club releases by Marigona Suli that's not a must-have for me, but they haven't released one of those yet. But they're only at 5. We'll see what happens. But so anyway, I just have so many lovely kits by Mrs. Butter D in my collection, and I was just feeling this sense of like life's too short. And one of my goals this year has been to work on more kits that really, truly bring me joy. It's always a balance I'm working to strike between making sure that I'm trying out new companies, trying out new products, stretching myself outside of my comfort zone, like having a healthy balance of doing some of that, but also sometimes just working on kits from artists and companies that I know that I love, I know that I'm going to have, well, I know what I'm getting into. Like, I know the experience that I'm going to have, what the materials are going to be like, what the finished effect is going to be like. It's like comfort food in some ways. It's like, I know what that is going to be like. So, I was like feeling very indulgent in a way. I was like, let me work on this kit from my rainy day stash. And my rainy day stash, like I started to mention a little bit earlier, that's just a phrase I came up with to describe kits that have special meaning to me that I want to save for a rainy day. I know that some people don't vibe with this concept, or they just don't get it. They're like, I don't understand. Like, all my kits are special, or no, I'm not going to save kits to like, work on for a later date. Like, if I want to work on it, I'm going to work on it. And that's valid. It's totally fine. But I know that some others sort of have this feeling of like, there's something that makes it special. Like, the anticipation or the like savoring it is kind of one of the ways I originally thought of it, was saving and savoring it, because then it just makes it feel that much more special, and it's that much more exciting when you do go to work on that kit. I've also used it for things like when I need a pick-me-up. I was going through a really, really difficult emotional time a few years back in particular, and I feel like this was sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Like one of the first times that I really found myself dipping into my rainy day stash as a source of comfort and as a pick-me-up. And that's when I worked on the kit Pride by JoJo's Arts. I did a bunch of enhancements to that one, which I don't do a lot, but I loved working on that kit, and it brought me a lot of joy. It's like there was a lot of emotional, hard stuff going on, but when I sat down to diamond paint that kit, it just lifted my spirits in a really lovely way. And I'm feeling, honestly, I feel like my family has been going through it just with Adam's job situation and just some hard stuff with like the kids and some more like extended family drama and some like health stuff here and there. Like with me, there's just been kind of a mix of stuff going on, and everyone's kind of got stuff going on. Everyone's got a lot of hard stuff going on. I don't mean to minimize that at all, but I don't feel like I'm in crisis the same way that I was like when I worked on Pride, but it has been feeling just a little bit hard, a little bit heavy in some ways. And so this has brought me so much joy to work on. I've only been working on it for a few days, but every single time I go to sit down and diamond paint it, I'm like, I'm so happy. I love the colors. I'm obsessed with this artwork. This has just turned into the year of apparently working on mythological couples, because let's see, I did Underworldly Romance, which also featured Hades and Persephone, this one by Chrisabug. I did Eros and Psyche also by Chrisabug. That was a different couple, and now we're back to Hades and Persephone again. And I'm gonna need DAC and other companies to just release a steady stream of Hades and Persephone kits, please, just so that I never run out. That would be great if you could just center everything around me. I'd appreciate it so much. But this is pure joy. I'm so glad I decided to work on this one. But I had this really silly hang up when I was trying to decide what to work on, and I waffled on this one because I thought, are people going to think it's silly that I'm working on another Hades and Persephone kit? Like, is that just too, I don't know. Is it just too much? And I thought, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to work on a kit that I love. And I'm really happy that I did. And who cares? Like, just work on what you love. Don't worry about what other people are going to think. This is lovely. This is really lovely. So, even though this is one of my favorite artists, I actually did not get either of her kits from the Halloween drop. I wish listed the cafe style one, but something about it just wasn't a must have. I am so incredibly picky right now for a variety of reasons, and I'm glad that I am. I don't feel the FOMO as much, and overall have just been feeling some overwhelm with clutter in our home and just stuff, and trying to keep up with keeping things like organized and neat and whatnot. And it's tricky because we live in a pretty small space. We have two kids that are continuously outgrowing things and needing to kind of shift what they have. And so that makes it a little bit tricky. And I also have some really complex feelings around getting rid of things too. I don't think it's coming from a hoarder mentality, and I'm not a hoarder. I'm not to that level, and I'm not saying anything about anyone that does struggle with that. It's more that it's related a lot to finances and financial stress. There's things I'm worried about getting rid of because it's not something, if it's something that would be that I might potentially need to replace down the line, be if I get rid of it, but what if I actually genuinely might need that later? But we're not in a place to just be able to buy and replace the thing. So there's a lot of trying to figure out do I keep this? Do I get rid of it and just take the risk and deal with it if it comes up down the line? So it's weird. It's weirdly emotional, and I know finances can get uncomfy to talk about. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But all this to say, I did not go as hog wild with the Halloween release as I may have gone in big releases in years past, because it's just fun to grab anything that even really remotely speaks to you. I did get 3 kits though. 2 of them were in my mind non-negotiable must-haves. I had a gift card to use, which is the only reason I was really shopping anyway. But the absolute non-negotiables for me were the Rita Konya, the Cozy Autumn one. I actually don't remember the name of that one. Is it Cozy Autumn? And then the Marigona Suli Mystery. And then I also picked up, was it called Potion Room? It's by that new artist, is it Gubu Family or something like that, with the cute little chibi characters. It was just way too cute to pass that one up. And so I did get those 3, but I wish listed a few others. I was very tempted by the Sarah Richter mystery. I'm pretty sure I know what the image is, but I'm not going to spoil it here, or even muse on it. But I almost bought it, and then I didn't. I was no. Mysteries, I'm so picky. I'm already getting the Marigona Suli one. It's a whole different animal to tackle doing a mystery kit, because you're having to deal with reading black and white symbols. It is potentially a gamble if you're going to like the image or not. I don't know. I'm just really picky when it comes to mysteries. I haven't worked on one in a while. Oh my god. Excuse me. But that was something I originally intended to do sometime this year, and I don't know if I will. I guess technically the ghosts doing stuff was a mystery, but in a different way. I was hoping to get to maybe one of my DAC mystery kits this year, and I didn't. But I guess there's still time. We'll see. But I don't know, did you guys grab anything from the Halloween drop, or did you hold off? I know it was a little later this year. I think they had some shipping delays. I don't think that they intended for it to end up being quite this late, but yeah, is what it is, I guess. But I know for some people, they're I'm not going to have time to finish a kit for Halloween if it's coming in this late. And yeah, no, that's totally fair and understandable. But yeah, so that's that. That's why I started working on this kit. Oh, there's that text from Adam. He's at a friend's birthday thing, and I was telling him that Scout had decided to go just sit by the door to the garage. Scout is so attached. Scout's our 8-month-old puppy. He's extremely attached to Adam. And he can get kind of mopey when Adam is not here. So he went out and he sat by the door to the garage for a little bit, just I think waiting to see if Adam was going to come home. And then I was he's not here yet, buddy. And he's inside and he's napping on the couch now, and he'll be really excited whenever Adam does get here. But yeah, are there any other, let me check my little jot notes here. Any other things that were going on? Oh, Kidding Down. That was one of the things I was really happy about filming my post reviews. I filmed a few this week. some that still, haven't gone up yet, but they're filmed. But I was able to then turn around and kit down some of my projects, which for me, kitting down now looks like dumping the drills into Ziploc bags, not saving them, but just dumping them, and then they go into a box for me to decide what to do with all these like leftover drills. And I don't save my leftover drills anymore because I don't have space. I have several kits worth of saved leftover drills that are all organized. They're in boxes, like in rows, and Ziploc bags with index cards that have the DMC code on them. But I just wasn't able to continue saving them every time because I have completed a lot of diamond paintings at this rate, at this point in my diamond painting career, if you want to use a term like that. So I had to stop. It wasn't practical, but and it's been forever since I've had to go dip into them. But I'm curious if you guys are, did I ask this last week? I feel like I've just recently asked this question. Sorry if that's the case, but do you save your leftover diamonds, or do you not bother? I feel like most people, if they save theirs, have a kind of similar system to the one I described, where it's like, oh, you put them in, boxes with like organizer lines and Ziploc bags and stuff. But yeah, I don't have the space anymore. So that is what it is. But it was nice to free up all that storage because I was anticipating, I just wanted to be ready. I wanted to be ready for if and when this kit released from Diamond Art Club so that I could kit it up right away. And I also had several kits tying up all my Elizabeth Ward storage, and I was like, that's my preferred storage method. I would like to free up those containers, but I like to keep the diamonds in those storage containers so that I can reference them when I do post reviews. I don't always end up referencing them, but I tend to leave them in the storage containers until I filmed the post review, just in case. And I don't always know if I'm going to film an individual post review. I don't know if I've mentioned as much here. I know I've mentioned it in like my Patreon and YouTube memberships vlogs, like a little bit of behind the scenes, but post reviews historically are some of the lowest viewed channels or videos on my channel. Isn't that so strange? It's not what I would have expected, but compared to WIP and Chats, compared to unboxings, it's like individual dedicated post review videos. People don't watch them compared to others. And it's perplexing to me, but the numbers don't lie. So it's very possible that it's something about how I'm doing the videos, of course, but that's why I don't always necessarily prioritize individual post reviews. Month in review videos, you guys tend to watch plenty of those and enjoy those. Year in review videos as well. Month in review videos can be nice because it's a little bit faster look at multiple kits. It's more like a snapshot style, and I just wonder if that's maybe more of what people prefer. And you still get to see the completed kit. But, even though individual post reviews just don't tend to get as many people watching them, it's still something I try to make a priority out of, especially if it's a newer shop or a shop that's made some changes or just like kind of a unique kit in some way. Because I'm like, oh, well, a dedicated review video for that could be especially helpful maybe, but I don't know if there's specific things you guys are looking for in post reviews that, especially if it's something that like I'm not doing, I am always open to feedback. But just an observation about post reviews that I think is interesting. But anyway, what else has been going on this week? I had my last physical therapy appointment last week. I was, of all things, I was late for it. I completely lost track of time. I was supposed to be there at 3:30. At 3:35, Adam looks at me and goes, "Are you not going to physical therapy today?" And I was like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Jetted out the door. Thankfully, it was only 5 minutes away from us. So I only was there for half of my appointment. It was fine. And it was like, okay, well, and we're done. She feels like I've improved enough and have the exercises and kind of tools at my disposal to use to continue with improving. And I have noticed a significant improvement in my shoulder in the past few weeks. There was a particular exercise that she had introduced that I just felt like made the biggest difference. There's something about it, I think, just targeted where whatever muscle group was where the injury was, and just really helped with strengthening and stretching that, because I feel like that's when maybe it was coincidence, but I feel like that's when I really noticed a big difference. So I am happy that I've seen such improvement. I'm not noticing discomfort and pain when I'm diamond painting for longer now, which is wonderful. There's still some things that hurt when I do them with that shoulder. Like if I try to reach too far, like across my body, or from like really, I don't know, like stretching it in certain ways, sometimes it's still kind of, it'll twinge or be uncomfortable in a way that my other shoulder is not. And I also, though this is getting better too, I can't lay on that side, like on the couch or in bed or something. I can't lay on that side for as long. But it still improved significantly from how it was before. So it certainly feels like I'm on the upswing, and did a little exit survey and called it good. It's basically, if it flares up again and I'm not able to help it get better with exercises and stuff at home, then I just, call my doctor and see about getting referred in for more physical therapy. But hopefully that's a non-issue. But speaking of which, we are past the halfway point of this WIP and Chat. And so stretch break, posture check. Okay. Grab some water, grab a drink of water. I'm going to stretch and open up my shoulders a little bit. I guess it's only been 26 minutes according to my timer since I stood up, because I did take that little break earlier to go check on the cat. So I got my stretch in, did my little posture check then, but I try to, like, every 20 to 30 minutes, like, stand up, posture check, drink some water, and make sure I'm, sitting in a more like ergonomic way. And because I really don't want to injure my shoulder again, because if you missed it, my shoulder injury was from too much diamond painting, quite literally. I was at a retreat. I was not sitting in at all an ergonomic chair, table, like how I was angled and stuff. And I was diamond painting so much because it was a diamond painting retreat. I didn't have my kids there. I was just chatting and diamond painting the night away, that I actually did significantly injure my shoulder. So that was back at the very beginning of June. And now it's, October, and it's still like there's a little bit of strain there. So I'll be interested to see if that injury is more prone to issues, like going forward, kind of keeping an eye on it. But for the time being, it's getting better. It's continuing to improve, and that means, okay, mission accomplished. Hopefully that just continues trending upward. This week, Adam has been doing more with this freelance contract work that his friend was able to get him connected to, and I think he's enjoyed kind of getting back into more of a rhythm with like working again. It's helped both of our sleep schedules, because he's been trying to really like get up and get started at a good time, and I kind of have been able to follow suit, because I'm a little lemming, and I'm a follower when it comes to like, oh, we're going to bed, we're getting up, okay. Yeah, that's just been a really huge relief. I'm continuing to hope and pray that something long-term and permanent will work out or come up here. But, for a few months here, we have a little bit of a breather, and I just continue to be so grateful that that this came up. And while they were saying, they don't expect that it's going to turn into anything full-time, just because they're kind of like a startup and they don't necessarily have the budget to add on someone else full-time. Startups can also, things can change, but if nothing else, it's networking, people that can be a reference and something he can put on his resume. And so we're just the tech field situation out there, even the not tech field, like everything out there is just brutal when it comes to job stuff. So super thankful for this, for sure. Kind of getting back into that rhythm, I think, has been good. The kids have been doing pretty well with school and stuff. Micah's been doing better with some of the issues he was having at school, with a little bit of like running again. And so that's been going better. And he's been just a little chatterbox and has been really into reading lately. And I love it. He's been also insisting on playing a lot of hide and seek this past week. The problem is that the dog always gives away where one of us is hiding. Micah always likes to be the seeker. He's not very good at hiding. It's like we finish the countdown and he just giggles and comes out to see us from his hiding spot. We're like, no, you're supposed to wait for us to find you. And he just laughs and thinks it's hilarious. But when it's Adam or I that are hiding, the dog comes up and wants to play too. And the dog will just lead Micah to us. It's so funny. So that's been really fun. And he's also made some big steps and had a lot of growth with just some like developmental stuff. Some I'm not, I never want to be one of those people that's betraying my kids' privacy here. I feel like I'm trying to walk that line really carefully. So some I'm not going to talk about just for sake of his privacy, but something that I feel like is fine to talk about is that he has been initiating and interested in flossing. We've had some luck with the water pick up till now, but he's interested in actually using flossers, which has been like a huge ongoing ordeal to try to get him on board with. And I know, believe me, we are working very closely with our pediatric dentists and everything. But it's just something really incredibly sensory sensitive for him. And so he's great about brushing, but just flossing has always been not so simple. But he's been really into these Ask the Storybots is the name of the show. He's been really into those. And there was an episode he watched the other day that was all about dental care, basically dental hygiene. And highly recommend Ask the Storybots on Netflix for any parents. Like, they do really cute little catchy songs. It's actually pretty clever and pretty well done, and it seems like it's, good information, and it legitimately has helped my kids with things like this. And so I think with that, Micah, literally, we were brushing his teeth a couple of nights ago. He's like, Mom, I want to floss my teeth, and pointed to like the flossers. And it was like, okay. I was trying not to make a big thing out of it. It was like, okay, great, let's do it. And we flossed like 2 or 3 teeth, and then he was done. And I was like, this is great, buddy. That was amazing. You did great. How'd that feel? And, trying to reinforce it and be like, it's fine. We can work up to more teeth. Like, we're going to try to take it a little bit at his pace. We don't want to make it like a thing. We don't want to, push it too hard and then it's scary or it hurts or something. So I'm hoping I struck the right balance with that there. But I was just so delighted, and I'm celebrating every single bit of any like growth or like milestones or things that Micah hits, even as delayed as he is. So that was just a happy little unexpected surprise from this week. And then Connor's been doing really well too. I was just talking with him before bed tonight and being like, all right, buddy, I think we're going to have to try to, decide once and for all what you would like to do for what you would like to be for Halloween this year. Keeps waffling around. There's some different like characters from a couple of different anime shows that he likes, and some other like Roblox characters. And I was like, well, some of these would be kind of hard to like do a homemade costume for. And I know there's not going to be any like pre-made costumes out there. So I was trying to kind of steer him to something that is maybe a little bit more doable, but would still be something that he wants and is what he wants. And so he's kind of interested now in potentially doing like a ninja costume. So that's what we're kind of leaning towards. I told him he has a few more days to decide, but here, by the end of this week, we really need to choose so that we can make sure we have his costume before Halloween. Micah has for the past couple of weeks insisted that he wants to be a traffic light this year. why I'm chuckling is because he was a traffic light last year, and he, I think, just loved this costume so much. It was just from Target, like a fabric costume he could just pull on. Had a battery pack in it, and the lights would light up in it. I think he just loved that costume so much that he's just thinking, well, I just want to be that again. And that's fine, but I just want to make sure, like, you don't want to be anything else? No, a traffic light. Okay. So that's the current state of affairs. I'll update you guys on where we ultimately land. Last year, I think it was Connor kept trying to change his mind up to the last minute, and I had to do like a drop dead date of you can't change your mind past this point, because like trying to find a costume after this point and trying to, return the other one, it becomes difficult to do. So we have to, we can't change our mind after this point. Trying to explain logistics to, a 9-year-old is not always super practical, but we got there. What else? My anxiety brain has been not super kind to me when it comes to trying to get sleep at night lately. And yeah, I'm doing talk therapy. I'm on like daily meds and stuff, but where this is really kicking up is less when I try to go to sleep at night, because I'm usually tired enough then that I can, I read until I'm so tired that I just put down my phone and go right to sleep. But when I'm getting up and taking the kids to school in the mornings, usually I'm getting up early enough that I'm not actually ready to start the day that early. Like I'm getting up at 7:00 to get the kids ready and walk them to school and stuff, but I'm not actually ready to be up for the day. I haven't gotten quite enough sleep. And so I usually go back to bed for a couple hours. But just this past week, it's been more of a struggle. I keep feeling like my mind is like racing on different things and having a hard time with settling enough to actually fall back asleep. And that's really frustrating. So I don't know that it's so much that I need like a med adjustment or anything. I probably just need to chat about it more like in therapy. And I just feel like there's a lot going on in the world and like in our lives that like it's understandable, but sleep is so incredibly key to good mental health. Like it's the number one thing that you can do for yourself in a lot of instances is just making sure you're getting enough sleep. And so I don't know. It's like just trying to figure that out. I'm just hoping maybe it was an off week. Maybe this week will be a little bit better, but darn anxiety brain. And I'm going to fill you guys in on just this really funny little joke that I don't remember when it came up between some friends and I like years back, but good old autocorrect on my phone often when I would talk about anxiety brain, I'm just typing too fast and maybe don't spell it quite right or something. My phone would always want to correct it from anxiety brain to anxiety Brian. And it turned into a thing where my friends and I would just joke about it and be like, dang it, Brian, whenever our anxiety was flaring up, and referring to like anxiety Brian or dang it, Brian. Something about like naming your anxiety or naming like the anxious thoughts in your brain that, I don't know, being able to laugh at it almost helps in some ways. And so I don't know, if you guys are dealing with, stupid Brian this week, then just tell Brian to shut up. Like, shut up, anxiety Brian. And if anyone else has had that autocorrect happen on your phone, well, now you can just leave it, and you can just chuckle to yourself. But what have I been reading and watching and listening to this week? Let's see. So, reading. Do you think I have an update on this that's any different from the past how many months? I sure don't. Someday, my reading bug will come. Back. I was going with the someday my prince will come, but it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So we're replacing this one with, do I even have a cross-stitch update? I don't. I am on a little bit of a mental block with my cross-stitch project because I've completed all of the regular stitches, and all that's left, well, there's the back stitching and the beading. And I'm just feeling nervous for some reason about stitching in the beads for this. And I just need to get past that like weird mental block and just do it. And it's like, as soon as I try it, I know it's not going to be that big of a deal. But yeah, I just can't seem to bring myself to like pull it out to work on. And I don't know why that is. I don't know, maybe just weird anxiety Brian things this week. But yeah, no cross stitch, not even any video game updates. I've not been reaching for Mass Effect. I think it's a little bit because I know the end of the game isn't that far away, and I'm a little bit sad about the end of the game being not that far away. Like, I'm not ready to be done with it. So I don't know what's going on with my other hobbies outside of diamond painting, but I've been back to diamond painting in full force, so maybe that's part of it, is there's kind of like an ebb and flow between my different hobbies. Because I'd really put diamond painting like on the back burner for a while and was doing more with stitching and gaming and stuff. But maybe it's just something to do with the kits that I'm working on really calling my name. Whenever I have spare time, I'm wanting to sit down and diamond paint more. So I think that's probably what's going on. As far as what I've been watching, well, we watched The Return of the King with Connor for the first time. First time for him, obviously, not first time for us. We split it into 2 evenings because it's so long, and we knew that he probably wouldn't have the attention span to sit for all 3.5 hours of it in one go. And that just would have also been a really late night for him. And we wanted to watch it like after Micah had gone to bed, because then it's just a little bit more distraction free. And we try to create ways to have time with each of them individually. And this is one of the ways that we can have that, with Connor. And so we watched the first half of it on Friday night and the second half last night, Saturday night. And I know that I've said this in the past couple of WIP and Chats about like the first couple of movies, but seriously, these movies are incredible, and it's kind of insane how well they hold up. However many years later this is, 20 years later or whatever. These movies are incredible. They're so good. Like, I can't get over it. And The Return of the King is just beautiful. The music is unreal. It's so good. And I don't think it's just nostalgia talking. I think these movies genuinely hold up so beautifully and are just as good today as they were when they were made. Just wonderful. Connor enjoyed it, them a lot. He definitely enjoyed when there was a little bit more action, but I think he was also internalizing like some of the really special and like meaningful messaging that was in these movies. And I love so much about the fact that he's an age that he likes this kind of thing. We're having really interesting and fun conversations with him about some of this like deeper and more interesting stuff. And he's just such a bright, sweet little guy that I just absolutely love it. And I loved getting to share these movies with him, and I'm so glad that he enjoyed them. But if you were looking for an excuse to do a Lord of the Rings rewatch, this is your excuse. It also makes me want to go shop what DAC has that's licensed from Lord of the Rings, though. I would cry happy tears if they were able to get like a landscape style piece of Rivendell, that, or like Minas Tirith, or probably Rivendell. Minas Tirith would probably be a lot of like grays, but give me some of these beautiful Middle Earth landscapes, and I will do landscapes all dang day, and I won't complain a single time about it, because I'm just going to be so excited to be working on a piece like that. But yeah, so that's watching. Also, Adam's been working his way through Supernatural. He's coming up on the end of season 13, so he's just got 2 more seasons at this point, and he said he's going to try not to like take a longer break in between seasons, because he's like, the end is in sight. I kind of just want to push through to the end. And I forgot how many good episodes are in season 13. There's a lot of characters that they like bring back from forever ago in the show, including one of my personal favorite side characters. Is it a spoiler? Like, what's the statute of limitations on spoilers for a TV show that this was like, when was this season? 7-8 years ago? Anyway, Gabriel's one of my favorite characters, and they bring him back for way too short of an amount of time. But, like, he's one of my very favorite side characters, and it was so fun that they brought him back. And so, like, Adam watched the episode where there was that reveal, and he's like, oh, they brought him back. I was like, yeah, I was biting my tongue on that one. And then, so we did reading, we did watching, and then listening to. So I've still been listening on and off to Taylor Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl, and the jury is still out, and I'm okay with it. I'm not trying to feel like I need to have definitive feelings about this album yet, as much as I feel like there's some Swifties out there that are like, either need to, I had to have a decision about how I felt about this album within like the first listen, and then I'm going to ride really hard for it. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. Like, I'm just going to sit on it, and if I'm enjoying it, I'll listen to it, and if I'm not, then I won't. But I don't personally, this album hasn't grabbed me immediately and been like an instant favorite, but I don't hate it. And I don't really care if other people love it or if other people hate it. It's just listen to what you love and don't what you don't. You have the power to choose, and you don't have to attack people on the internet over it. But yeah, I just have been listening to some of that and then kind of adding some of her, old stuff back into the rotation again, just for funsies. But I don't know. If you guys have been listening to her new album, what are your thoughts? I'm not going to get offended if you're like, I hated it, it was trash. And I'm also not going to give you a hard time if you're like, I loved it and I thought it was her best writing ever. I probably won't agree with either of those takes, but you're also allowed to have them, and that's why they're opinions. So I don't know. Sorry, I got really obnoxious and preachy there for a second. I've just seen some takes out there in YouTube land, internet land, that I'm just like, this seems like a bit much, and I just am like feeling like people need to slow their rolls just a little bit. Anyway, so that's my reading and watching and listening to. As far as what I got coming out this week, I think my Drills and Chills video this week is going to be another sponsor spotlight for week 7, and I have a lot of really fun small shop goodies to share with you for that. I have my post review of ghost doing stuff that may go up. I may do an unboxing of the Halloween kits from DAC that I decided to pick up. That could be really fun. And I have a variety of other kind of unboxings and ideas kind of that I'm mulling over that are kind of in the wings. And so, it'll be a lot of the usual suspects here, most likely. But stick around if you want to see it. I would love to have you here as part of my community. So if you're not already subscribed, I'd invite you to go ahead and subscribe, especially if you enjoyed this video. I do WIP and Chats every Monday. So if you want some company and don't want to miss it, these usually go up Monday mornings. And if you don't want to have to wait for my next one, I do have a whole back catalog of WIP and Chats that goes back 5-ish years, and I have a playlist where all my WIP and Chats are all collected in one nice, neat little place. So I'll have that playlist linked below if you want to go and take a look, and you can just hit play and they'll just let it roll. I do that sometimes with people's WIP and Chat playlists, or I curate like my watch. I make a lot of use of my watch later list that YouTube has. It's just a complete random mix of some diamond paintings, some like commentary style videos, video essays, that kind of thing. But yeah, so anyway, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, what's something that's very like Hades and Persephone coded? I feel like there's either end of the extreme, right? We have skulls and we have flowers. So I don't think there's a pomegranate emoji, is there? I don't think there is. If there is, you can surprise me with a pomegranate emoji. Or alternatively, you can leave a skull or a flower emoji. Something that just evokes Hades and Persephone. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, let me know how you're doing. How was your week? How was your weekend? Did you grab anything fun from the Halloween drop? What were you working on? What's your current whip? And anything else you feel like sharing. Either way, though, thanks so much for watching. I hope you're doing very well and that you have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.